السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome to my Quran for Sleep series, where I translate in English surahs of the Quran. This video is Surah Al-Ma'idah part 2. So let's just get started. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. You see that those who have the disease of hypocrisy in their hearts move around in their camp, saying, "We fear lest a turn of fortune strike us, but soon when Allah gives you a victory or a decision according to His will, they will regret for what they are hiding in their hearts. At that time, the believers will say, are these the same people who solemnly swore by Allah that they would stand beside you? As a result, all their deeds will be voided and they will become losers. O believers, whoever among you renounces deen, let them do so. Soon Allah will replace them with others, whom He will love, and they will love Him, who will be humble towards the believers, mighty against the unbelievers, striving hard in the way of Allah, and will have no fear of reproach from any critic. This is the grace of Allah, which He bestows on whom He pleases. Allah is all sufficient for His creatures' needs and all-knowing. Your real protecting friends are Allah, His Rasul, and the fellow believers, the ones who establish Salam, pray zakah, and bow down humbly before Allah. Whoever makes Allah His Rasul and the fellow believers His protecting friends must know that Allah's party will surely be victorious. O believers, do not make your protecting friends those from among the people who were given the book before you and the resurrection. Every time they kindle the fire of war, Allah extinguishes it. Now they are striving to spread mischief in the land. Allah does not love those who do mischief. Instead of this rebellious attitude, the people of the book had believed and become God-fearing. We would certainly have removed their iniquities and admitted them to the gardens of bliss if they would have observed the laws of Torah and the Injil and other revelations which were sent to them from their Rabb. They would have certainly enjoyed abundance from above and from beneath, though there are some among them on the moderate course, yet most of them do nothing but evil. O Rasul, deliver the message which has been revealed to you from your Rabb, and if you do not, you have not fulfilled your duty of conveying the message. Allah will protect you from the mischief of the people. Surely Allah does not guide the unbelievers. Tell them, O people of the book, you have no ground to stand on unless you observe the Torah, Injil, and other revelations that have come to you from your Rabb. This revelation, the Quran, which has come to you from your Rabb, will surely increase the rebellion and disbelief of many of them, but you should not grieve for the disbelievers. Surely the believers, the Jews, the Sabians, and the Christians, whoever believes in Allah and the last day and does righteous deeds, will have nothing to fear or to grieve. Certainly we took a covenant from the children of Israel and sent them Rasuls. Whenever there came to them a Rasul with a message that did not suit their fancies, either they called him an impostor or they put him to death. They thought no affliction would follow, so they acted blind and deaf. Yet Allah, in extreme mercy, accepted their repentance. But again, many acted blind and deaf towards the message of Allah. Allah is observant of their actions. Certainly they have disbelieved who say Allah is El-Messiah, the Messiah, Jesus, the Son of Mary, while Messiah himself said, O children of Israel, worship Allah, my Rabb and your Rabb. Whoever commits shirk, Allah will deny him the paradise, and the hellfire will be his home. There will be no helper for such wrongdoers. Certainly, they are unbelievers who say, Allah is one of three in a trinity. There is none worthy of worship except God, one God, Allah. If they do not stop saying what they say, a painful punishment will befall the disbelievers among them. Will they not then turn to Allah and seek His forgiveness? Allah is forgiving, merciful. El-Masih, the Messiah, Jesus, the son of Maryam, was no more than a Rasul. Many Rasuls had already passed away before him. His mother was a sincere, steadfast for the truth. They both ate food like other human beings. See how the revelations are made clear to them, to know the reality. Yet see how they ignore the truth. Say, you worship besides Allah someone who can neither harm nor benefit you, while Allah is He who hears all and knows all. Tell them, O people of the book, do not transgress the bounds of truth in your religion unjustly, and do not yield to the fancies of those people who went astray before you. They misled many others and have themselves strayed away from the right way. Those who disbelieve from among the children of Israel were cursed at the tongue of Dawood and Isa, the son of Maryam, because they disobeyed and committed excesses. They would not forbid one another from committing iniquities. Evil indeed were their deeds. As you can see, many of them are taking the side of the unbelievers. Evil is that which their souls have sent forth for them for the hereafter, because they have incurred the wrath of Allah. So in punishment they are going to live forever. Had they believed in Allah, in the Prophet, and in what was revealed to him, they would have never taken unbelievers as their protecting friends instead of believers. But most of them are rebellious transgressors. You will find that the most violent in enmity to the believers are the Jews and the mushrikeen, pagans, and nearest in affection to the believers are those who say we are Christians. That is because among them there are men that are priests and monks and do not behave arrogantly. When they, monks and priests, listen to that which is revealed to the Rasul, you can see their eyes filled with tears because they recognize the truth. They say, O Rabb, we believe, therefore write us down among the witnesses of truth. Why should we not believe in Allah and the truth which has come to us, and hope that our Rabb will admit us to the company of the righteous? So Allah has rewarded them with gardens beneath which rivers flow, to live therein forever. Such is the recompense of the doers of good. As for those who reject and deny our revelations, they shall become the inmates of hellfire. O believers, do not make unlawful those wholesome things which Allah has made lawful for you, and not transgress. Surely Allah does not love the transgressors. Eat of the lawful and wholesome things which Allah has provided for you. Fear Allah in whom you believe. Allah will not call you to account for what is inadvertent in your oaths, but He will hold you accountable for that which you solemnly swear. The penalty for a broken oath is to feed 10 indigent persons with such food as you normally provide to your own family, or to clothe 10 needy people, or to free one slave. The one who cannot afford any of these must fast 3 days. This is the expiation for breaking your oaths. Therefore, be mindful of your oaths. Thus Allah makes clear to you His revelations, that you may be thankful. O believers, intoxicants and gambling, dedication to stones, paying tribute to idols and using arrows desires to stir up enmity and hatred between you with intoxicants and gambling, to prevent you from the remembrance of Allah and from Salah. Will you not abstain? Obey Allah and obey the Rasul and abstain from these things. If you do not, then you should know that our Rasul's duty is only to convey my message clearly. There is no blame on those who believe and do good deeds for what they ate in the past, provided they abstain from those things which have been made unlawful. Then remain steadfast in their belief and do righteous deeds. Then abstain themselves from whatever they are forbidden and believe in divine law. Then fear Allah and do good deeds, for Allah loves those who do good deeds. O believers, Allah will put you to trial by making game, that which is to be hunted, well within the reach of your hands and your spears, in order to see who fears him. Though unseen, there shall therefore be a painful punishment for those who transgress after this warning. O believers, do not kill game while you are in ihram. If anyone kills game intentionally, he will have to pay a penalty through an offering brought to the Kaaba of a domestic animal equivalent to the one which was killed, as determined by two just men among you, or as an expiation, either feed a few indigent or fast their equivalent days, so that he may taste the evil consequences of what he did. Allah has forgiven what happened in the past, but if anyone repeats it now, Allah will inflict retribution on him. Allah is mighty, capable of retribution. Game of the sea and its use as food is lawful for you and the seafarers, but the game of the land is forbidden as long as you are in ihram, pilgrim garb. Have fear of Allah, to whom you shall all be assembled. Allah has made the Kaaba of the sacred house an eternal value for mankind. So are the sacred months, the animal offerings, and the animals which are coloured as a mark of dedication. So you must know that Allah has knowledge of what is in the heavens and in the earth, and that Allah is well aware of everything. You should also know that Allah is stern in retribution, and that Allah is forgiving, merciful. The only duty of the Rasul is to convey my message. Allah knows all what you reveal and what you conceal. Tell them, bad and good are not equal, even though the abundance of the bad may dazzle you. So fear Allah, O people of understanding, that you may prosper. O believers, do not ask questions about things that, if revealed to you, may cause you trouble. But if you ask a question about something when the Quran is being revealed, it will be made known to you. Allah has pardoned that what you did in the past. Allah is forgiving, forbearing. Some people before you did ask such questions and later lost their faith because of those very things. Allah did not institute superstitions like those of a slit ear, sake of Allah, for we shall be sinners if we do so. If it becomes known that those two were guilty of the sin of perjury, then let 2 other better qualified witnesses from among those who were deprived of their right come forward and testify upon oath. By Allah, our testimony is truer than theirs. We have not transgressed in our testimony, for we should be wrongdoers if we did so. By this procedure, it is more likely that they will bear true witness, or at least fear that their oaths could be contradicted by subsequent oaths. Have fear of Allah and listen. Allah does not guide those who are disobedient, transgressors. On the day of resurrection, when Allah will gather the Rasuls and ask, "What response were you given from your addresses?" They will say, "We have no knowledge, only you have all the knowledge of the unseen." Then Allah will ask, "O Isa, son of Maryam, recall my favor upon you and your mother, how I strengthened you with the Holy Spirit, so you could speak to the people in the cradle and in maturity, how I taught you the book, wisdom, the Torah, and the Injil, how you were able to make the figure of a bird out of clay by my permission, how you breathed into it and changed it into a living bird by my permission, how you could heal the born blind and the lepers by my permission, how you could bring the dead body back to life by my permission, how I protected you from the violence of children of Israel when you came to them with clear signs, and the unbelievers among them said, 'This is nothing but clear sorcery.' Remember when I inspired the disciples to have faith in me and in my Rasul, and they said, 'We believe and bear witness that we have become Muslims.' Remember when the disciples asked, 'O Isa, son of Maryam, can your Rabb send down to us from heaven a table spread with food?' And he said, 'Have fear of Allah if you are true believers.' They said, 'We only wish to eat thereof to satisfy our hearts, and to know that you have indeed told us the truth, and that we will bear witness to it.' Isa, son of Maryam, said, 'O Allah, our Rabb, send us from heaven a table spread with food, that it may mark a feast, one of a kind, for us, for those before and after us, as a sign from you, and provide us our sustenance. You are the best sustainer.' Allah responded, 'I shall send it down to you, but if any of you disbelieve after that, I shall punish him with a torment which I have never inflicted on anyone in the worlds.' After reminding him of these favors, Allah will say, 'O Isa, son of Maryam, did you ever say to the people, "Worship me and my mother as gods beside Allah"? He will answer, 'Glory to you. How could I say what I had no right to say? If I had ever said so, you would have certainly known it. You know what is in my heart, but I know not what is in yours, for you have full knowledge of all the unseen. I never said anything other than what you commanded told me of. You are the watcher over them, and you are witness to everything. If you punish them, they surely are your servants, and if you forgive them, you are mighty wise. Allah will say, this is the day on which the truthful will profit from their truth. They shall have gardens beneath which rivers flow, to live therein forever. Allah is well pleased with them, and they are pleased with them. This is a mighty achievement. To Allah belongs the sovereignty of the heavens and the earth, and all that is therein. He has power